With the Crain 670 hardwood plank jack, what we're going to do here is use a screw instead of a dog and ratchet assembly. Consequently, when I tighten a screw, I tighten that screw until the boards are closed. I have to push no further because it is not going to have backlash. Great tool. Down, couple of turns, press down the lock nut. Other manufacturers use the tried and true dog and ratchet mechanism. Work great for jacking up your car, but when you're trying to jack something together that has a precise stopping point, what happens is the first dog clicks in, I'm almost closed. The second dog, whoops, here's the problem. There's not enough travel for it to close the boards and lock into the next dog. Consequently, I have to hold it or force it, which is going to do damage to the tongue or to the wall. With the Crain screw instead of a dog and ratchet, we don't have that problem. I can have our tool at the same height as the other tools on the market have, or I can simply loosen these locking bolts with the wrench that is used for everything. Slide this off, turn this over, and quite frankly, this is going to be the position that we're going to have this in 99% of the time. The only other time you would have that up is if you wanted to slide this back when very close to the wall and be able to put a 2x4 or something on the base. In other words, I'd be able to move this back and put a plate in front, or a 2x4 or something in front of it. Now I simply slide that up, and I have the entire plate covered as opposed to just the top third of the plate. So consequently, when I tighten that baby up, I'm good to go. Okay, this situation is we're going to put the plank jack to work out in the field. What I've done is I've just drilled holes comparable to these holes in the plank jack, and I now set the plank jack on top of those holes, and real quick like I will take the screwdriver and we'll just screw that right to the floor. The nice thing about this is it doesn't take too long to accomplish, and the results are what I've now done is I've got a plank jack that is set to go. Press down on the lock, slide it up against the board, twist it for a second, get it locked in place, and we'll see what happens here. Scenarios can happen like this when you're, let's say, putting hardwood down in a kitchen and you've got an island in the middle, and when you come around that island, all of a sudden you need to move it together. Well, this plank jack will do things that are absolutely unbelievable as far as power. Now, I don't want you to think that we're doing something that is not nailed down well. There's a cleat here, 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 cleats all the way through this, and as you can see, I've moved the board probably 3/4 of an inch just in a couple of seconds. When using the Crain plank jack on engineered wood, you would use the same 3/4 inch block of plank. You would screw it to the floor, and at that point in time you would have a tongue that is being pushed from the floor towards the boards. In other words, it can be used in the field just as easily as any on 3/4 plank. As you can see with the piece of laminate on top of the engineered wood, our hook is down on the floor and our push plate is down on the floor, just a very small amount off so that there's no resistance when tightening. When you're ready to store the 670 hardwood plank jack, the handle can be removed from the ratchet and screw and tightened up on the side for easy storage in your toolbox. For those times when you don't have time to set up your display, your demonstration board, I found this to be a very quick way of showing someone how this works. I'm going to put a red mark here. I'm going to put a red mark here. And then take our tool, press down, slide them apart. At that point in time, what I'm going to have is the ability to rapidly show just what this tool will do. If you take a look at those two red marks, obviously we're only talking about 4 nails at this particular juncture, but I don't have any problem pushing these completely apart very simply. Now press down, unlock it. At that point you can see what